In the beginning, we see a submarine in the water inside, which two men joined two different types of keys to open a room where a huge AI system was set up. This AI system was such that it could save them from any problem in the world. It could do the work of hacking everything in the world. Now, as they come out of the room by starting the AI system, they get the signal of another submarine approaching them at high speed. They tell their captain to drop a missile near that submarine. But as soon as their missile went near that submarine, it disappeared. Then they gave the command to bring the missile back. But now it was moving towards their submarine. Seeing this, the captain gets scared and is surprised. He felt that maybe someone had hacked their system. This work was actually of their AI who had hacked their system. That missile came and collided with the submarine, which led to the destruction of the submarine, and all the officers were also killed. The AI system also got submerged in water. Their officers who had died, their corpses were floating in the water and started coming up. We then see the keys hanging around their neck, which were the keys of the AI system's room. After this, we are shown a man, Ethan, to whom a postman had brought something. Here we are told about Ethan, that he was a very big thief before, who used to work with a man named Gabriel. But one day Gabriel killed Ethan's friend. In return, the IMF people caught Ethan as a criminal. When the director of IMF came to know about Ethan's ability, he forgave his punishment and made him the agent of IMF. Now Ethan has a job, in which he has to find two keys. And those were the same keys that we saw at the beginning of the story with which the AI system could be opened. Presently, one of the keys is with a girl named Elsa, who was a former agent of IMF. She had already met Ethan in Istanbul. That girl also had a reward of $50 million on her. Now Ethan had to find those keys at any cost. On the other side, we are shown the same girl having the key, fighting a few men in some desert who were enemies of her life. She fights them with a sniper gun. At the same time, Ethan comes to help her. But as soon as Ethan went near the girl, he found she was dead. After this, we are shown a meeting room of all the officers of IMF where they are having a discussion with some agent. That agent tells them about an AI system, which is now working on its own. They had also received records of many disasters, but there was nothing about that AI on those records. This is all happening because of AI. At the same time, Kittredge, the director of the IMF, talks to him and says that Russia is looking for its two keys, with which it can control its AI system, which was made by them many years ago. If they do not get those keys, it could pose a bigger threat for the world. But what could these keys open? They did not know anything about it yet. But all the agencies in the world are looking for those keys. Maybe it can control the AI system, with which the entire world system can be hacked and destroyed. They tell us that one part of this key was found by our agent, for which we had sent Ethan. But nothing was found about it yet. Then an agent comes inside and gives a mask to Kittredge. He spreads a poisonous gas there which makes everyone unconscious except that agent and the director. That agent was actually Ethan. The director asked him, "Why did you do this?" Ethan tells him that he had gone to the same girl agent from whom he got the key. He took the keys and told her to pretend to die, so that whoever is behind her moves away and her life is saved. He tells his director after finding the other part of the keys, he will destroy the AI system. Hearing this, the director says, "Do you know how many agencies are behind that AI machine?" He says, "Yes, I know. And I also know that if any agency gets it, no one would be able to control it, as it's very dangerous and will spread devastation in the world. That's why I want to destroy it." Now, after a few days, we see an officer in Dubai airport looking for Ethan with his team. As he found out that one part of the key is with Ethan, he finds Ethan. But it did not look like Ethan. Ethan's friends Benji and Luther were also present there. They had hacked all the camera systems because of which that officer saw every man walking around as Ethan. On the other side, Ethan reaches a man who had the other part of the key, but suddenly a girl steals the key and runs away. When Ethan's friends heard about it, they found out that the girl, whose name was Grace, was a very famous and cunning thief. She was also accused of many things. At that time, Ethan's friend at the airport had a doubt about a bag. When he opened it and looked at it, there was a bomb in it. Benji tries to defuse the bomb so that the bomb could not harm anyone. Meanwhile, Ethan also finds Grace at the airport, and by giving her a lighter, tells her that he knows about her and warns her that if she wants to get out safely, then she must give him those keys and promises to get her out safely. On the other side, Benzie had prevented the bomb from exploding. But Grace escapes with the keys after putting the lighter in his pocket. When Ethan starts looking for Grace, he sees Gabriel in front of him. Predicting a threat of an imminent danger, he warns everyone at the airport to get out. The IMF people who had kept an eye on Ethan, when they saw Ethan and Grace together in the video, understand that there is something going on regarding the two keys. Grace gets caught at the airport by an officer who takes her to his boss, who was actually Ethan. She says, "You got me caught by the police." He says, "Yes, now you tell me, why do you want to get those keys?" She says, "I don't know what the real secret is about those keys. I was only told that I had to sell these keys to a man who would give me a huge amount of money." After this, while walking along with Ethan, she once again escapes. She gets trapped by the officers but runs away. She then goes down, takes a car, and leaves from there. Ethan also followed her on a bike. Then some goons stopped Grace's car and started bothering her, asking her to come out of the car. Then Ethan comes there and saves Grace. He put handcuffs on her so that she could not run away. On the other side, the officers who were trying to catch Ethan came there. Meanwhile, a girl killer named Paris attacked the officers and ran after Grace and Ethan to kill them. She also wanted to get the keys from them. They managed to escape from her, took a car, and ran away. That girl was also following them. They somehow escaped from that girl. When Grace comes out of the car, she takes advantage and ties Ethan with the steering of the car. After which, Ethan somehow gets free, and on coming out of the car sees all the people of his team who were looking for him. Together, they come to their office with Ethan. Here, they find out that Grace is going to sell the keys at a party to Alana, also known as the White Widow. But until now, no one knew what would happen to those keys. Benji says that he found a bomb in a bag that was designed by an AI. He felt that the man who left the bomb was the same man sent by the AI. Ethan remembered that he saw Gabriel at the airport that day, who suddenly disappeared in front of his eyes. That means the AI hacked his glasses. That's why Gabriel disappeared in front of his eyes and he couldn't even see him. And he feels that the AI has chosen Gabriel for this work. Ethan says that he knows him very well, as he has worked with Gabriel. He is very dangerous. At the same time, Issa also knew about him. She says that she has heard about Gabriel. He is called the dealer of death. He is not afraid of anything. Ethan says that if the AI is controlling us and keeping an eye on us, he also knows that we are here right now and that it is not good for us. He says that we will have to stop the AI system. After this, we are shown a party where Grace has come to sell those keys. The buyer of the keys was Gabriel. After a while, Ethan also comes there, who was not told about this party by Grace. Gabriel is surprised to see Ethan. The host of the party, a White Widow, also comes to the party. She was a black market dealer about whom Grace had already told Ethan. She had given Grace the job of giving keys to Gabriel. She comes and meets Gabriel. White Widow tells everyone that with those keys, the AI can be controlled, after which a person can do anything in the world. That's when Ethan realized that all those who are gathered here are also controlled by the AI. There, Ethan now asks that White Widow, "What will you gain from the keys?" Gabriel says that if she sells those keys, she can become richer in the future. The one who will benefit a lot will get a lot of money. After that, we can also control the AI system. Ethan says that the reason we are here today is because of AI. He wants his keys to be misused. That AI system also knows that I am a danger to it. After that, Ethan forbids Grace to give keys to the wrong hands, and that it will cause a big mess. Now he points to Grace, and that is when a very fight begins. After deceiving everyone, Ethan and Grace run away from there. But Grace deceives Ethan once again, and leaves him alone and goes to Gabriel to trade those keys, because she also had the greed for money in her heart. Ethan quickly contacts his colleagues and asks them to find out about Grace. He gets very surprised because without saying anything, his voice was going to Benji. He understands that AI has hacked all his systems. When he told his partner about this, he ran away so that AI could not find him. Then Paris, who was following him, came there. A severe fight happens between these two, but he leaves her there and goes to Grace, who is near a bridge, about which Ethan's partner had told him. But she was late to get there. Gabriel had cheated Grace near the bridge. He takes the keys from her, beats her a lot, and does not give any money in return. To help her, Ethan's friend Ulsa comes there, who got killed by Gabriel. When Ethan reaches there and finds Elsa dead, he gets very sad that if I had reached earlier, he could have saved her life. The next morning, Grace was with Ethan. She tells that Gabriel is now going to take those keys to a man who will tell him how he can work in the AI system, and all of them are going to deal with those keys on a train. Grace was also ready to help his team with Ethan. Benji tells Grace to wear the mask of a white widow who had met Gabriel so that no one could recognize Grace there. Luther tells Ethan that the AI knows that you want to kill him, and he has deliberately brought Gabriel in front of you. He says that, if you want no one to know anything about AI, no one should misuse it, then you will have to kill Gabriel. Only then it will be possible that no one should know about AI. If you eliminate AI first, everyone will find out, as Gabriel will never remain silent about it and AI can be alive again. So kill Gabriel first. Ethan says, I promise I will do this, but until I know how to control AI with those keys, what is their job? I can't kill Gabriel until then. Now Grace was ready to wear the mask of that lady, listening to Ethan. Along with that, he promises Grace that he will save her from there. The next day, Gabriel and his entire team were on the train. Gabriel kills the man driving the train and speeds up so that no one can catch him. There, when the White Widow goes to the train room, she sees her lookalike in front of her, which was no one else but Grace. Grace had also made that lady unconscious, and she took those keys from her. After that, she goes to the man who knew about those keys. Here, the man who bought those keys was no one else but the director of the IMF. Grace asks him what can be done with these keys. He says, I don't even know what can be done with these keys and what not, but at any cost, I need these keys so that we can find out about AI. Here on the other side of the train, Gabriel meets an agent who knows about the system AI. He asks him, what do you know about that system? The agent tells him that a few years ago, Russia had made a system called AI, and they started this system in their submarine. This agent was telling about the same incident that we saw at the beginning of the story. He designed his AI system in such a way that it was very magnificent. He himself used to find out for himself what is right and what is not. Taking advantage of this, the AI system killed that submarine. It has been designed in such a way that it brings new changes in itself. Gabriel asks that agent, who else knows about this? He says, me, you and the girl standing behind you. Gabriel kills that agent. The girl standing behind Gabriel was the same killer girl, Paris, who used to work with him. Now Gabriel also wants to kill that girl, but she runs away from him. During this time, she was very injured. On the other hand, Grace, who was trading those keys with the director of the IMF, in the form of a white widow, asks, how much money will you give me in return for this? He says, whatever you ask. When she gave the keys to his hand, the director was happy. He says that this can destroy the whole world. Hearing this, Grace was scared. She takes the keys again. She had known that these keys to anyone in the wrong hands can be a great destruction. Outside the train, we see Ethan on his bike on top of a mountain cliff. Benji tells him to jump from there, which will fall directly in the train, and he tells him to wear a parachute. Ethan was afraid of jumping from there, but when he was told about his old friend and the security officer, who was killed by Gabriel, now he did not want to let Grace die like this, so he jumped to save her. The real White Widow lady, who was inside the train, also came to her senses. Because of this, everyone knew the reality of Grace. When she started running away from there, a goon of that White Widow caught her and snatched the keys from her. When he was about to kill her, at the right time, Ethan saved her. But now Gabriel got those keys and went to the train roof. Ethan also followed him. There was a lot of fighting on the train roof between them, and they were hitting each other very badly. At the same time, the same officers also arrived who were still trying to catch Ethan. Taking advantage of this, Gabriel jumped into a truck. Here the officer and Ethan came to know that they could not stop the train. Ethan now goes inside the train, where Grace apologizes to him and is very sad that she could not save his keys. Here Ethan shows her the keys and tells her that during the fight he stole these keys from Gabriel and can't do anything wrong now. Grace says that the train cannot be stopped. All the engines of the train have been damaged. There we see Gabriel, who sees the lighter in his pocket instead of the key, which Ethan had put in his pocket during the fight. On the other hand, Ethan and Grace were trying to save each other on the train. Ethan separates the train engine from all the boxes, after which the train engine falls into the water. Grace and Ethan were now safe. Meanwhile, Ethan sees Paris, who is about to die. Grace helps her and saves her. The girl thinks that Ethan left her alive and apologizes that she is still supporting Gabriel. Ethan asks her if she knows about the keys, and then she tells him the name of the submarine, which was also the code of those keys. Saying this, the girl dies. Ethan left Grace in the train box, in which the IMF director was also sitting, and got off wearing a parachute. There, Grace tells the director that Ethan still trusts you. He is sure that you can never do anything wrong. Hearing this, the director tells him not to worry, nothing will go wrong, and yes, I promise you that all your previous records will be erased, and you will now live your life as an IMF agent. On the other hand, we see Ethan, who has gone to his friend and asks them to find out about the AI by giving the keys. That is, the journey had just begun. He wanted to stop this great devastation that was about to come into the world. At the end of the film, we are shown the Russian submarine in the water. And with this, the film ends here.